In a time facing the pressures of global competition, in one arena, the United States of America still reigns supreme, feeding the world. And in large parts of America's heartland, corn is king. Now, with an ever-growing population and declining prices for their crop, farmers are forced to do more with less, or go bust. Every year, America's corn farmers do battle, not just against unfavorable markets, mechanical challenges, and Mother Nature herself, but they engage in a contest against each other to see who can grow the most corn per acre. This is Corn Wars.
Okay, I think we're ready to move. Now nothing works. Corn Wars, so we'll be duking it out. That's right. So we're kind of down until we figure out what's going on here.
I guess it's what you say, it's in your blood.
Kind of reality check.
In the high plains of eastern Colorado,
I didn't really decide to be a farmer so much as I was kind of born into it. I grew up basically 30 miles from town and anybody or anything, so I grew up with tractors as friends. Drifted into it like a life of drugs, I guess. You know, you just start out when you're young and there you are. You're a lifer. My dad started farming, well, same deal. He was 5 years old and he's out behind a horse plowing back in the day. He was born in '28, so they were doing stuff the old way. And yeah, he's been doing it his whole life, and yeah, what the I guess I can do it for my whole life. Seems like a good choice. I could do worse things. My name is Mike Rother. We're back in Arapahoe, Colorado. It's a hard thing to explain to people who don't understand. You know, you could say I'm a farmer, you could say I'm a rancher, you could say a lot of different things. I'm a farmer at heart, and that encompasses so many other things. That's what I am, I'm a farmer. You know, the hats we wear just normally have decal, Pioneer, Genesis on them. Mine would have Genesis on them if Teddy'd get me a hat. Teddy. You guys are just in time to see what corn looks like at this stage. It just looks like corn. It's nothing special, but it's my corn. That makes it special. Steve's my little pit bull. He don't stop for nothing. He's bad. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without Steve. Really, the corn is his baby, so any high yields we get, any success we have is directly attributed to Steve, much more so than me. Very glad. The loyalty Steve's shown me over the years is, you can't buy that. You can't repay it. His execution is key, and Steve has that ability. He's a finisher. Steve was checking fertilizer pumps here just a little bit ago, but it's been so wet that that's been kind of a non-starter for a while. We've been trying to fight too much rain to get our fertility on that we would normally not have a problem getting on. But Steve, he'll find a way. He'll get her done. We've probably had somewhere north of 20 inches for the year since March, and that's very uncommon for us. Normally we'll be between 15 and 17 inches for the year, so to have that in a 6-month period, that's pretty unusual. It's really slowed down our normal workflow. We have fallow acres that we have to summer fallow so that we can get back to wheat. You're just banking moisture to grow the next wheat crop. And we haven't been able to take care of those fallow acres because it's so wet, and that's horrible. It makes for unsightly fields. It's going to make for problems this fall when we're trying to plant wheat, and it makes for unhappy neighbors sometimes because now you have big weeds that could blow on them. And you know, we all try to be good neighbors and everybody understands, but it's still something that you don't want to have happen. It's not that our edges of fields are challenges, they're just ugly. You know, the guys back east that you see perfectly mown, sod looking grass, and that's just their normal field, and then giant 13-foot tall corn next to it. That's bad. But we can't do that here. We have weeds along the edge of our field, and the only thing we can kill them with is gramoxone. And gramoxone, it burns things. It makes things brown and crunchy and crispy. So the edges of our fields are ugly, but oh well, that's all right. Like I said, I'm excited to see how much I'm doing wrong. Let the hate flow. Well, today we'll have Phillip Davis at the farm, and we're pretty excited about that. Phillip's a traveling purveyor of knowledge, I guess. He comes around and he gets to look at a lot of guys' farms, and Phillip's just a naturally smart guy who has a gift for farming and corn in particular, but all crops in general, and just kind of helps us get better at what we're doing. It's nice to have people like Phillip who can bring knowledge to the table and help us out. Well, he's the corn whisperer. He tells us what the plants are thinking. He shows us what to look for. I feel bad for guys who try to do this on their own. Guys like Phillip bring a lot of value. He's worth taking time out of your day, even if you're busy. None of us who work here have been to college. It's nice to have somebody who can bring it down to our level. Who are we seeing? Is Phillip here? Oh no.
He's here.
Oh no.
The eagle has landed.
Whoa! And Steve too. Yay!
You know this crew coming up here? Yeah. I can't avoid them.
Tried to avoid them.
What's going on, Phillip?
Why's that?
Meanwhile, in Illinois. While pockets of the Corn Belt have been in near drought conditions, Mother Nature has other plans for the Luepkes farm this year. But before he can check on the status of his crops, he's got some hungry mouths to feed.
Born and raised farm kid, loved farming from, a little kid, loved the work, loved to do it. But I was raised on a dairy farm, which gave me absolutely no life. You worked around the clock, and wasn't much time for any fun. So when I was a young man, actually, it was my dad's operation. The barn burnt. I thought that was the best thing that ever happened.
Another day in life, Ted would say. Struggles. American farmer.
And along with the heavy rains, she's brought with her another unwanted visitor.
We're tissue sampling soybeans. We're doing sap testing and regular tissue sampling, so we're taking different leaves for the different tests. There's new and old leaves for the sap. I'm taking the older ones. Melissa's getting the younger ones. It gives us nutrient levels and loads so we can adjust our fertility. The beans are getting big enough now. There's not quite as much we can do with it, but we can still make possibly a foliar application with a helicopter, or if I put something on with a pivot. I have a pivot out here. Yeah, we do the same thing with the corn. Usually when I'm out here, we kind of check, look things over, see what stage the beans are at, which these are probably R2, between R1 and R2.
I do 2 tests while he does 1.
It's because that's all she'll let me do.
Because I want it done right.
This has got some insect pressure. We've already sprayed 2 or 3 times for it, but these little guys here, called a Jap beetle, they cause a lot of damage. They eat and they eat and they eat, and that's all they do. Well, they do something else, but I won't mention that. Something else too. They're happy. They're eating and just going at it, usually at the same time. The one contest dryland field I've got where we're going to go where it's really muddy is all beat to crap with the rain and the wind. Broke a lot of tops out. It don't look good. I'm not happy with it. It's still going to be good corn, but it's not going to be as good as what we wanted, It's contest dry land, which I wasn't sure how I'd do in that anyway. The irrigated stuff still looks pretty good, but that field I think I'm going to kind of quit spending money on it. So at some point, you got to just say, well, that one didn't work out. Get your 2 done, or you're talking all the time, not getting your work done. Last week, we had a total of around 9 inches, I think. We had 6 inches one night that just knocked a lot of stuff down, broke some corn off, washed everybody's roads and driveways out. And 2 nights before that, we'd had 2.5 inches, so it was pretty well saturated anyway, so everything kind of ran off and it just made a mess. Actually, it's getting to be fungicide time for the corn, and there's some fields we can't get through with our rig, and we'll probably have to have a aerial applicator probably, because I think it'll be too muddy to get over. Well, Phillip Davis is gonna stop and see us today. We're gonna show him all our stuff and see what he thinks.
Fun fact, since Dan Luepkes began entering the NCGA contest in 2015, he has placed in the top 3 in the state of Illinois each year.
That's not fair. Oh, there you go.
Satisfied? I don't think so. I hate to tell you this, but I already did one route this morning with no fuel. I'm gonna have to pull back in there and get a little fuel. Well, this is what I call the 40, and it'd be competition dry land, but like I said, I don't think we're gonna probably continue with it. It's probably just gonna be corn now.
There's stupid little brown mushrooms over there, and those are always good. That's a good sign. What's that flag say?
Which way you want to go? So this is the second year.
Second year in the standard.
In the standard.
And this is the second year in the Genesis, or the Revelation. And like I said, the inconsistency of that. This is brown silk mostly, and this is still pollinating blister.
I don't know, Phil, do you see any difference there?
Really long. See a difference? Yeah.
If you squint, just right.
Hold on.
Gotta get the reading glasses out.
Let me see if I can see it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Now I see it.
You on the dividing line?
Right here it is, Philip. So this is Genesis Revelations, this is Field Standard.
It's 29,000 here,
Is it?
but it should be 16.
Yeah, I had a bit of a planter issue for a minute. We don't know why.
Yeah.
It was being a pain in the
What variety?
but this is 1198, right?
1197.
1197.
I bet no one brought the shovel, did we?
Tyson did. Shovel.
All right, let's pick some plants side by side that's pretty well spaced on the same.
Okay.
Mike, I'm gonna let you pick them.
Okay.
I know. We only have one shovel.
Yeah, it's our favorite shovel.
Everybody has to get their pocket knife out.
If you want to break something, break it on the other guys' stuff. On the Field Standard.
We ready?
Yes, sir.
We're going out.
Exit view. Yep.
We got 2.
This is basically your standard program here on your farm here in Colorado, correct? So
Correct.
We went out there and you picked these plants. We were 30 inches apart, side by side. This has the Revelations program in the seed trench
Yes.
here, and this is your standard. What is in furrow on your standard program?
Standard program on this particular field was 3 gallons of 924-3 and a humic acid product.
I mean, that's a pretty significant difference to me. If we had some water out here, we could wash this, but we've got more of the deep feeder roots on the Genesis than we do on the Control.
I agree.
Do you have a knife?
I do. That's all right. I was gonna go grab a scale real quick.
Fun fact. In 2012, Mike Rother placed second in the NCGA contest with 324 bushels per acre in the irrigated no-till strip-till division. Since then, he's been looking for ways to produce even higher yields, despite the challenges Mother Nature continues to throw at him.
Science!
It's hard because of the dirt.
It's hard.
So we're looking at the diameter of the stalk, how much more robust it is, and again, this is just a dig that's 30 inches apart. One plant was across from the other one, and you look at our stalk size, really pretty significant there in this one. Mike, do you want to kind of weigh these ears?
I mean, we can give it a shot and see. Say that one's 97 of the outside ones. No fair putting sticker weight on there, Phillip.
Oh, sorry about that.
That one's 130.
So 97 to 130, and that's a pretty large percentage.
I still don't know what those are. Oh, grams. Those are grams.
Okay. So we're
Or G's.
97,
What up, G?
so 130, and
Hard.
we're 97. So pretty significant right now. But I'm taken back with the size difference we have here in these stalks.
Could we measure the same length of stalk, maybe? Should we pull the leaves off?
Yeah,
Or
let's
will
just pull the leaves off. It'd be easier to weigh then.
I don't know what that is. 175? 175 G's? Significantly more than 175 G's. I got it. Not quite 300.
So pretty significant, and really that's the same. You know, in fact, the Control there might be a little bit longer in the amount we weigh.
So, I mean, right where we walked in right there, I didn't see quite as much breaking, but I got a gooseneck one right there, and there's a top. And as you get through it, if you look down through there, there's quite a few tops broke out. And as you walk it, they just start coming in on you. She thought walking this morning that there was less green snap in what had all the Genesis treatments. I didn't actually go out and count them to see, but just kind of walking it, she kind of thought there was more, and I'm not sure why that would be, if you just had a healthier, stronger stalk, or what it would be. But usually we can see a little more root mass and you know, girth of the stalk and all that kind of stuff. In the treated corn, yeah.
How about those lower leaves? Is any greater health in our plots?
Well, it would appear that the greener leaves go a little, at least one leaf farther down. It looks to me like the actual plant itself is a little greener down through here on the treated side. You know, if you look against this stalk and then against this stalk, to me this one looks a little greener than that one.
Let me take this plant and you step across into Control.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get this plant up out of the ground, if you don't mind, because it'll
go
be
ahead.
Equal. We'll sacrifice one over there.
Yeah,
and
we'll
here,
just go straight across.
and we'll go to the waterway and evaluate these. Okay, count that one. Count that one.
Okay.
I'm going out.
This is my plant, the Control. Smaller root mass for sure. Smaller plant, actually.
So these small roots, I call mycorrhiza roots, these little white ones, it's coming right out of the top of the ground, which means there's a lot of root activity. And those little roots, are really, as far as I'm concerned, is what's taking in all the goodies. And this root ball's just full of them. There's just little hairs, root hairs all over the place. And actually here you don't see crap for those. You don't see many at all. You kind of really got to look for them. See here how they're coming right out of the top of the ground. See those little white ones? And over here, you really don't see that.
And it's a healthy looking plant.
There I can get to some if I scrape them off, but they're just nothing like here. And the taproot itself looks to be several inches longer and a lot more of them.
These are going to bring in nutrients and water into the plant, a lot more nutrients. So that's pretty critical. But one of the critical things in pollen shed is this right here, and that's out of the control. And we look here. What do you think of that, Dan?
It's quite a difference. It's 50% more maybe.
But here's the thing, Dan, that I like about working with groups like you and Melissa. How many people out here are even evaluating this?
No, hardly anybody.
And we're seeing this out of this program. Now, does that mean that we're going to have any greater yield? I can't tell you that.
But your chances of better pollination are obviously better if you got more pollen. That's a good thing.
I would sure think so.
That's a good thing.
And where this one is green snap, you said 28%?
It's 28.
And I was green snap 6%. This dude's going to help this one because the pollen, as
Right.
close as they were together.
Right.
But even if you do have some green snaps, you got a higher potential of helping your neighbor with this one
Right.
here.
Right.
You got an idea now why we might have had less green snap?
We got more girth basically to the stalk.
You see that? And this is where that ear was placed.
Right. That's a bigger.
Yeah,
bigger stalk.
we have more mass there to support that.
Well, that's a fact. Yeah.
So that may be why we're showing only 6% green snap here and you're 28% here. That's a pretty healthy plant, Dan. You've done a good job here. So I think that was worth the drive out here and walking in the mud.
You made him feel a lot better, I think.
This segment brought to you in part by AgriGold.
Last year, we were first in Illinois in all divisions at 315 bushel. I thought we could do better. This year, we're on a quest for 400 bushel corn. Push the envelope. Do things you haven't done before. Try new things, do yield checks and research. At the end of the season, running the combine, if you see that monitor pushing over 300 and pumping good corn out, you know you've done your job.
There was this very nice film crew decided to film the ears coming out on this corn, and they put a GoPro out here in the field, and they drove a fence post right through the drip line, and that don't work for me. So now we're attempting a repair. Well, this is part of the drip system on this field, which waters the crop from underneath the ground. It's an irrigation system. Unlike the top surface applied, this is applied through the soil. And we also apply nutrients through here. It's just like a little plumbing fix. Okay, screw that out. So, tighten. You're ready to bury the dead. That should be a satisfactory fix. Another day in life, as Ted would say. Struggles, American farmer, digging holes. Yeah, this is probably the field I'm the most excited about. Everything is really green, really healthy, strong stalks, a lot of consistency, very little disease yet. So I think got a good stand, got a lot of potential here. We watch a lot of these high yield guys and see that there are possibilities there, and you know, why can't I do it? You know, our weather is different and we have different challenges, but you know, I might as well try it too, you know, give it a shot anyway. The ground I could get's kind of what everybody else didn't want. It was a lot of the poor sand ground, sand and gravel, which this farm where we're sitting on here is all sand and gravel. But started figuring out limiting factors. For me it was water. So we started adding some water to things and just started seeing huge differences. Well, we're in pretty much extreme northern Illinois. I mean, we're only 50 miles from the border. So, you know, I would feel central Illinois would have advantages over us, but I don't really care about that. I want to own the Illinois state record in corn and soybeans. And I think we have the potential to do it. We just got to keep working at it. I've never really been the kind that goes with the flow, I guess. So early on, I started trying to do some of these higher yield things. A lot of it was just multiple starters on the planter and things that I could really see differences. And I just got a lot of enjoyment out of my crop looking better than my neighbors, you know, just knowing that what I did actually worked, you know. And then you could see it in the fall, just, you know, through your yields. Melissa's been real good about researching a lot of different things and figuring things out, and it makes a big difference, because it is, when you go on this high yield path, you don't just say I'm going to do it and just walk out to the planter. I mean, there's a lot of research, takes a lot of time, it takes a dedication. You know, you got to want to do it. You know, if you don't, you're not going to succeed. It has to be something you want to do. Well, I don't give up. I never give up.
Corn, war. Well, when prices are better, it's a lot easier to do what you know is right, you know, because it pays, it makes money to do it. When you're losing money, you know you're losing money with this crop. You can either spend more money to hopefully lose less money, but you know you spent more money, screw it. Just, we're gonna lose what we lost, and what happens, happens. So, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Well, I know this year it was wrong, but you never know that ahead of time. It's horrible. But, oh well, live and learn. We'll make more mistakes, don't worry. There will be plenty more peril and challenges. There's going to be a lot of good corn in our area. There's dryland corn that's going to be better than, I dare say better than ever. There's going to be a lot of guys break their personal records. There's probably going to be state records broken, or at least regional records broken this year for dryland. I will not be one of those guys. We don't shoot for high yields on our dryland because it's dryland. It's either going to die or make 50 bushel, and that's it. But irrigated corn, there's going to be a lot of good irrigated corn. A lot of good irrigated corn. There's going to be a lot of guys 280, I would guess 290. I don't know where we will be across the farm. I would say we'd probably be 275 anyway across the irrigated farm, but I could be wrong. You know, there's a lot of room for that to back up on me. I would say on our contest field, I'm pretty confident saying we'll be over 300. I think we'll be over 325. I'm hoping to be somewhere in that 350. I'd love to be 400. That'd be bad, but I don't think I can say that. I thought I was at 400 a year or two ago, and yeah, I was way wrong, so I ain't gonna say that. I've been wrong. There's a lot of time for it to go wrong. When you see those clouds underneath clouds like that, that makes a fellow worry a little. Potential for hail in there, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We've got to keep the hail away. I mean, that's what happens in the high plains. You get hail, that's just what it is. But hopefully we can keep missing it on at least our contest field. It would be better if we missed it on all of it, but, but I don't want to wish hail on my neighbors either. So I'll take my lumps. It's hard. Hail is hard. More rain. My biggest fear right now wouldn't be more rain. Rain, I mean, it's gonna slow us down and it's gonna suck, but you don't cuss rain. Not in Eastern Colorado. You take it and you thank you, may I have another. Hail would be bad. You cricket. We were out spraying road ditches the other day. It's super exciting.
Road ditches.
Trying to keep stickers down. So you just strap a 40-gallon or 50-gallon sprayer or 30-gallon, whatever it is, and you just strap it in there with the pump and you drive around and drive by the weeds. It's bad. It's gangster. High Plains drive-by. Die.
Yes.
Fire, fire.
Yeah.
I'll give that to you guys for a souvenir.
Oh, thanks.
You can remember me by with that. See, remember that? Boy, that wasn't a good deal.